and welcome to Footy Thoughts. As always, it's myself, Chris, and Josh. Today, we're actually going to be a bit biased. We're going to talk about our own teams and how we're getting on this season, how our thoughts on our personal teams' performances. So obviously, I'm Man United. Chris is Chelsea, and
as you can see, because he's wearing his Chelsea shirt.
Disgusting. Absolute dirt on that shirt. And then Josh is Arsenal, and that's where we're going to start. So,
do we have to?
Is it that bad?
Well, yes and no. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be 11th, really. It's not ideal. But I don't think it's necessarily as bad as it looks. I mean, the table is very, very close at the moment. So if you get a couple of wins, you can climb up the table quite quickly.
I don't think it's as bad as it thinks. I think at the moment, the problem for you is you're missing Tierney, as he's been out for a good few games now. And he's a leader for you. So that's the main problem at the moment. But
that is definitely a big problem. Obviously, he's been really good for us when he's been fit. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. The report seems to suggest he will be. But yeah, he is a little bit injury prone. So that, he was at Celtic. So that is sort of the only problem with him.
Yeah.
I think another thing is that Aubameyang is not having a great season. He's had some personal issues. He was away from the team for a while, so I think that's probably affecting him.
That has a knock-on effect because he's a captain as well, isn't he? So.
Yeah, exactly. And we were very reliant on him the last couple of years for goals. We haven't been so much this season, which is good in a way, that we're having to find other people to score goals. But obviously, we are missing him being on top form.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris? What Arsenal in your head? Where are they at for you?
For me, I mean, I still think they're in work in progress. They've got some young, promising players coming through, and it looked really. I mean, Arsenal, they went on a period where they looked really promising again, and they started to get some good results, and started to play with a bit more of an identity. I think. I mean, in support of Arsenal, their luck hasn't been great recently. With the 2 red cards against Wolves, it was for me personally. I think it was a very harsh red card for David Luiz, and they had, to be fair to them, they did play quite well for 60 minutes of that game. I think they were in control. But 2 decisions go against you, and then it could change the game on its head.
I think that Louise one, it was more the laws wrong, or whatever they like calling it. The rules wrong. The reason behind it. I think the ref got it right for showing it, but it was like any football fan can see that's harsh.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's technically the correct call, but it doesn't. It doesn't look right. It wasn't really a red card. He didn't really make a challenge particularly. He kind of just tripped over himself. I thought he was very unlucky there. I think his reputation didn't help him because he has a reputation of being quite rash. If that had been a different player, it would have been interesting to see what the referee would have given.
Yeah.
See, there's one. There's one. I can't remember who it was now, but they gave the penalty, but the foul was on someone who was clean through on goal again, but they didn't give a red. Or it's the inconsistency that gets me. And like they, for example, they rescinded the Saints one, but they didn't rescind Louis. I get that the Saints one probably wasn't a foul because Martial did, for me, dive, but it was one of those where you thought if you're going to rescind one, you're going to rescind the other, not.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen some ludicrous red cards recently. I mean, that Souček one was just never a red card in a million years.
It's the way that every football fan on Twitter, not just West Ham fans, they all reacted in the same way. I know some went too far with the death threats and all that. That's not okay.
No.
But
No, of course.
the criticising of the refs okay, as in saying that's a horrible, terrible decision, and he should be doing better than that, and so should VAR. And even a bit of common sense with the economist, the way who went down,
Mitrovic.
Yeah, the way that he went to the ref and said it's not a red card. A bit of common sense would be like, okay, lads, we're just going to leave it now and just take the free kick, right?
I mean, it's a really tricky one. I mean, I feel a bit sorry for Mike Dean, to be honest, because he has to make a decision there and then. And to be honest, I think VAR should have looked at that and gone, I mean, because I know there wasn't much in it. Mitrovic went down as if, he'd been shot in the leg or something. But the rule states, like, if you watch the replay, Souček does go in with the elbow. And, all right, there may not have been any malicious intent or anything, but the laws of the game, it's violent conduct. It's, and Mike Dean's got to look at that there and then and say, he's got to ignore the fact that Mitrovic has gone down like he did. He can see, I mean, from Mike Dean's perspective, he saw Souček going in with his elbow, and in the laws of the game, that's violent conduct. So
I disagree.
Looking at it from a referee's perspective, it's a red card, but from a fan's perspective and from a player's perspective, it's not.
No, I think the ref should know that he's trying to get out the way of Mitrovic, not go like that. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's just not.
It's a tricky one.
Like, I wouldn't have blamed him if he'd given the red card straight away and then looked at the VAR and then rescinded it.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that he looked at it multiple times and still decided it was a red card. I can't quite understand that.
Oh, it's odd. It's odd. Yeah. Anyway, Arsenal. Are they going to move up the table? Are they going to even challenge for Champions League, maybe?
I don't think they'll challenge for Champions League. I think they'll challenge for a Europa League place. I think they are improving. I think, as Chris said, they haven't been very lucky the last couple of games, particularly the Wolves game. They were playing really well the first half. And had David Luiz not been sent off, I think we very well could have won that game. The Villa game, we were undone by a really bad pass by Cedric in the opening minute. Yeah. But actually, I mean, you look at the previous game we played against Villa where they just absolutely thrashed us. Yeah. This was an improvement on that game. It wasn't a good game, but we didn't get absolutely destroyed, and we did have quite a lot of the ball. We just couldn't quite create a good chance, or the ones we did create, we didn't take. So I think we haven't played terribly the last couple of games, but sometimes you just don't get the luck. Sometimes you do. We're playing Leeds this weekend, which is an interesting game.
Yeah, that'll be good. You got away with one at their place.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
I remember that game. Absolute battered.
Pepe's headbutt.
Yeah.
He's actually been quite good, in fairness.
Yeah.
Recently, when he's moved up, he's moved to the left-hand side now, and he looks a lot better there. Yeah. And our defence has improved massively. from where it was last year. And the attack, it's getting there, but it's still not where it needs to be.
Still need a few players, and I think Saka's a good player for you. Like, I watch him every game. The thing with him and what I've seen from Arsenal players in the past is a few of them haven't worked hard, but Saka for me works hard, and he looks like a good talent.
Yeah, he is. I think he should definitely be in the England squad for the Euros. He's definitely a very good young player.
Without a doubt.
Definitely. I think he's got a lot of potential, and he's got, he's getting game time as well, which is important as well. I think, Arsenal, credit to Arteta, he's given the likes of Smith Rowe, Saka a chance, and they've proved why they should be in the team. It's just like bringing their development forward now, and hopefully they can push for a place for the Euros. I mean, but at the moment we've got so many young, talented, potential world-class players at the moment, or even, it's looking very exciting for the England development and on midfield.
If we had a good manager. If we had a good attacking manager, we would really do good stuff. But
yeah, that's true.
Unless he changes his way, I can't see us doing well, because he's just going to play 5 at the back and 2 defensive midfielders.
Yeah, he needs to adapt, because I think it'll be a crime not playing the likes of Mount, Maddison, Grealish in their attack, the normal positions. It'll be, or just leaving them out and playing a defensive style. But the team we have, we should be really competing.
Yeah, we got Foden and so many good young players. It's unbelievable. We really need to make sure we treat them right, and maybe even we could actually win something. Who knows?
Don't be stupid.
At least once in my lifetime, that would be good.
Oh, let's hope. But yeah, England, it is England.
Yeah. Even when we thought we were going to easily get to the final, we still cocked it up. So, Croatia game. That was tough. Not even over that yet. I've not watched England game since. Properly, anyway.
No, that was heartbreaking. But it was more frustration, to be honest, than like heartbreak, because we should have got to the final. We should have done. We should have beaten Croatia.
Yeah.
And but
it was weird. You got over that month or so, you get your hopes up so high, and then it's just burst in one moment when Mandzukic scored, and you're like, oh, no, that's it. All Kane had to do was square it. Unbelievable.
You look where Croatia are now. I mean, they didn't qualify for the Euros. Oh no, that was Serbia. I think they did qualify, but they're nowhere near as good as the team they were.
No, they had a few older players, and they're aging a bit, Croatia, but like the likes of Portugal looking good, and for France, of course, it's going to be pretty much the same team that won the World Cup, plus maybe a few more, because they were so young. Portugal and France are the ones that Spain are always in there and thereabouts. Happy New Year. There you go. Forgot about that. Yeah, but Spain are always thereabouts, and it'll be interesting. The Euros, hopefully it's in England as well.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope it's because that will. I mean, if we're loud fans, it will give us an advantage. But who knows?
Anyway, Chelsea, new manager come in, done quite well. Thoughts now? We talked to you after Lampard's sacking. What are your thoughts now?
So yeah, it's been a good start for the Tuchel regime. well, a few very, we had the one draw against Wolves where it's his first game, and he literally had training like the night before the game, so we didn't really expect much because confidence was low, and he started to implement his philosophy and everything. But yeah, I've been impressed at first with his formation of he likes to play a 3-5-2 with wing backs again, and which I thought at first I was a bit skeptical, but yeah, the likes of we brought the likes of Alonso back, who to be honest I didn't think had much of a future at Chelsea, certainly under Lampard, but he's come back, and we've had some solid wins. Against we got that win against Burnley, who were very tough, but we got the win. Most recently against Tottenham, which was I thought realistically we should have won by more, to be honest, with the amount of chances we had. And another decent win against Sheffield. So I think what's changed is just I think he's using more options now. I think with Lampard, as much as I have respect for Lampard, I think because it's just his inexperience as manager, but I think he was too quick to leave players out and to exclude them, like the likes of Rudiger, like Alonso, for example, and
but even Traore this season.
Yeah,
it's weird that he's not. Well, he didn't feature, and he's had to go on loan because last season he was. I know Silva's come in and all that, but it's a weird one, I think.
Well, yeah, definitely, and now especially that Silva's injured now. So he's we've got Christensen coming in who played solidly. Like Zuma, Aspilicueta can play centre back, but I think he just needed game time tomorrow, which is good. I'm pleased he's getting at AC Milan. But yeah, I think he's tried like Hudson-Odoi at right wing back, which has worked against Burnley. The Mighty Blues. And yeah, he's deployed like players in like Alonso left wing back. The only thing I'd say is just we need to be more clinical in front of goal.
Are you happy with how defensive he is? That's something I just picked up on. Obviously, it's working. You're not conceding one goal, which was completely ridiculous that you conceded. But he's gone defensive, and I know it's worked, but maybe you want to go more attacking to an extent as well.
True. I mean, I think it's a fine balance because, against Tottenham, we look pretty sound defensively, and Tottenham with the players they have. I mean, I know they haven't been on the best run of form at the moment, but they've still got a good team, and I felt we dealt with the likes of Son really well. But I think the big factor really is I know he played well the other night, but Werner is just lacking real confidence in front of goal. And he's doing so much for the team though. And, he's playing really, I thought he was brilliant against Sheffield. I think he won man of the match. Well, he's won 4 penalties so far this season.
He's the second highest assister behind Kane, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. I saw a stat like that. But that goes unnoticed. When you look at Werner, people want to see goals, and fans are just like, goals, goals, goals. We want goals. But he brings you so much more, and he tries. He works hard. That's what I notice.
And I think he brings so much to the team with his pace as well. And yeah, I think if he can be more clinical in front of goal, then the better. I mean, he'll be on red hot form. But I think as well, like Mount has continued where he left off when Lampard left. I think he was dropped against Wolves because I think he just Tuchel wanted to have more experience for his first game. But I think Mount has shown why he was picked every time under Lampard. I think he's at the moment. I think he's our best player. He offers so much, and yeah, it's looking promising so far. I mean, no disrespect to the likes of Burnley, Wolves, and Tottenham, but we haven't really come up against a top opposition, and I think he'll be judged in the big games for sure. But so far, so good.
Yeah, for sure. Josh, what are your thoughts on Chelsea?
Yeah, I think they've got a good chance of making the Champions League.
Yeah.
I like Tuchel. I think he's a manager that's going to adapt to each game and not just stick to one system. I think obviously they do need to be more clinical, but I think it sort of reminds me of when Arteta first came in Arsenal and he tried to solidify the defence first. And I think that's what Tuchel's doing at Chelsea. Yeah. I think the attack will come eventually. And I do think Werner will come good at some point, maybe not this season, but I think if he just needs a goal or a couple of goals, and I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'd quite like Chelsea's chances this season, actually.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris? Do you think Champions League? How high up do you reckon you can finish?
I mean, I can't see why we can't compete for the top four. If we continue this form, I mean, we're a point behind Liverpool now, and we're slowly creeping up the table. I don't see why not. Obviously, like I said, we've got big games to come. We've got the likes of the top four to play, and I think just depends how we do on that, really. But I think, it's certainly, I've seen improvements with our defence, and I mean, hopefully we could just creep into the top four, or just depends on how Liverpool recover from their bad run with form. And you've got to show respect to Leicester, even the likes of Everton and West Ham. They're going to be challenging as well. So we got to make sure we maintain this form, and not just try and get points off the road as well.
Yeah, I think you've got a chance. It's still early. We've got 15 games left, I think it is. So you've got plenty of time, and you're not miles off. You're 1 point off. So you've got such good chance if Tuchel just keeps on ticking it over and just getting the points on the board, really, and keeping the goals out like you've been doing. And if your defenders don't score stupid own goals, then you'll be fine. And I do think it helps that you've got a proper manager now. Respect Lampard.
That really hurt.
I respect Lampard as a player, but as a manager, he'll come back in good time. It's just too soon. It was too soon, and you needed some decent manager in to actually manage these players. And I think it'll be good. Well, it depends if he falls out with a flipping owner, but until that happens, it'll be good.
We'll wait and see. I mean, it's a long season, but I think the only thing I would say is probably, I still, our defense is a bit better, but I still am a bit iffy about Rudiger. I think, it showed against Sheffield, that own goal was just a lack of communication from the two, Mendy and Antonio, to be fair. But I think, that needs to be solved. But I think, hopefully Silva will come back in and he will be a bit more communicative with his defenders. So
definitely, I think there's a definite kind of platform to build on at Chelsea and at Arsenal and at United. We're all there and thereabouts. We just need to go that next step. Then we'll be back challenging the three of us at the top of the league for the title. But who knows?
So what do you reckon about United?
Yeah, I'm happy. It's one of those where I've always said, as you two know, we're not going to win the title this year. I've always said that, even when people were trying to say that we're going to challenge. I think it's still a process, as that Everton game showed, and the Sheffield United game. But those kind of games are key in like the development of the team, and if you're just gonna keep winning every game, it's flipping nice. Don't get me wrong, but like they're not gonna learn hardships and like the goal against Everton to concede two straight away after half time, and then to concede with the last kick of the game. That was just to switch off in those two moments of the game, in a game we otherwise controlled and we were the better team. It just shows that we need to have the killer instinct that we had against Saints every game. And it's a work in progress. I think we're still a few players short. We need a centre back. For me, Lindelof has his good games and then he has his bad games. There's no average games with him. He's either excellent or terrible. Bailly's built of glass. Like, he always gets injured. I love him to bits, but I saw something like he's played 98 games out of 270 that he could have played or something like that last night. I love him to bits, but we need someone who's reliable and fit and fast like Bailly and committed like Bailly, but who can actually stay fit for longer than 10 minutes. Otherwise, I think we're attacking wise, we've got real talent. For me, the last 2 games, Greenwood's been our best player.
Yeah,
the boy's good. The boy is good. He had a bit of a dip early in the season, but I think that's down to personal issues and his friend committing suicide. But he's bounced back and he's looking better than ever. I think having Cavani's been key in this team. Like his experience and his winning attitude, alongside Bruno's winning attitude. Those two, we needed more of them in our team, and it shows that bringing in the right players has helped us. Even Tellus has helped Shaw push on. And yeah, even Wan-Bissaka going forward, he's impressed me more and more this season. Like at the start of the season, you'd see him cut back every single game, and it'd really frustrate you. But now he's going to try and take on the fullback. But overall, I think we're in a good place. We're obviously a long way to go. I think we might slip down the table a little, but I hope we have enough in us to get top 4. But I do think we'll slip down because I think there's going to be more moments like the Everton game. But that's going to be the same for everyone around us. It's just who's going to mess up the most.
Yeah, I sorry. Well, I don't know what happened there. I think I agree, mate. I think it's. I think United is still a work in progress. They spent quite not a lot of money, but they spent some. I think they made some good signings in January, and like Cavani, I thought was excellent signing. It's just, I think it's just the defence, really. I was always surprised when you got rid of Chris Smalling. Because I know that he had his bad games, but I thought there was games where he looked pretty solid.
He's a good defender, but he's not a ball-playing defender. He was never never good with the ball at his feet. That's where it went down for him. I liked him, and especially the fact he went to Roma and he looked better than ever. I was tempted, but I get the decision at the same time.
Yeah.
He's another one that could be in for an England call-up. Like, he's played well over in Italy.
Yeah, could be. I mean, yeah, he's not that old, so I think he could always work his way back into the team.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think. What are your thoughts on United? I don't know, like Josh. What do you think? I still think it's a work in progress, but we're going in the right direction.
I absolutely think they've improved significantly from where they were. I think you can see the mentality of the team has improved a lot. But they do still have those lapses, like you said. Yeah, I do agree that they need a more reliable defensive partnership if they want to win the league. They also need to try and get a bit more out of Rashford and Martial as well.
Yeah,
because they've had pretty poor seasons.
Rashford does my Martial does my nutting because he doesn't try, but Rashford does my nutting because he does all the hard stuff easy, and then the easy stuff like he messes up. I don't get it, and he never wants to shoot. I don't understand players not shooting nowadays. It's like an extra trick or an extra like cutback or feint. It's really annoying. But the thing is with Rashford, he does deliver as well. Like the ball he did for Cavani's goal against Everton. It's a hard one for Rashford because you got.
That's the frustrating thing with him because he has those moments where he's really good and then I don't know.
He's got so much in his locker, and I agree. He tries to do the hard. He always makes the hard decision. He can never go for the easy pass or the easy shot. He always tries too hard.
Yeah.
Where I think he's such a talented player. I think he should just sometimes let the ball do the work.
Yeah.
And because I think he's so much better that way.
He's got a great shot on him as well. I don't get it. Like it's the most frustrating thing that. He always wants to do another chop or another like little touch or just shoot, man. Test the keeper, and then Cavani is more likely going to be there if he's going to spill it. I don't know. It's just one of those where all he needs to really stamp it into him, shoot. Like, if you don't shoot, you don't score. That's the biggest thing in football. But yeah, I think he's on the right track, and if he sorts it out, he'll be special again. Well, he is special talent. It just needs to make it that bit further.
Just needs to be more consistent.
Yeah, it's annoying. But
more consistent and just more confident in his own ability. I think sometimes he just doubts himself.
Yeah.
But he's just to think, do you know what? I'm just going to go for a shot. I don't care if it goes wide or just misses the target or goes right into the Stretford end.
At least you tried.
Exactly. And I think that's yeah.
And even if it takes like a deflection, it could go in. It's the most annoying thing in football when players don't have a shot when they're in a shooting position and always go for like an extra pass or whatever. It's one of those. That's the thing I love about Bruno. He's always shooting. Flipping halfway line, he'll shoot. Like, I'm happy with that. At least he's trying to.
That goal he scored against Everton was incredible.
So good. He didn't even try. He went top bins, man. It was crazy. There's a celebration. He just stopped.
He's very Cantona-esque, isn't he?
Yeah, in the way he plays. That goal, I don't see the resemblance personally, but like. I can see the resemblance in the actual attitude of a player, and but yeah, he's special. He's really lifted us, and he's annoying as well. Really, like as a United fan, I'm extra critical on him, and he can do better. And he gives the ball away a lot, and he does a lot of mini mistakes that maybe other teams don't see, but he does do them. So if he just cuts them out, he'll know this as well because he's got such high standards. But he's obviously provided a lot of goals and a lot of assists.
Yeah.
And you can't
I
complain.
think when you have somebody like that always has the ball a lot, they are going to give it away some. I mean, like Sanchez at Arsenal gave the ball away a lot, but he was really good as well. So it's just the nature of the game.
Yeah.
If you're that involved, you are going to give it away. But
with Bruno, he works hard to get it back if he does lose it. That's
exactly. That's the main thing.
Yeah. He doesn't lose the ball as much as William.
Yeah. What a way to finish this off.
Thanks for mentioning that, Chris.
Sorry.
He's been so bad, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, he came on Saturday and just killed our momentum completely. He was absolutely shocking.
I don't know what's happened to him. I mean, he wasn't great when he was ending his career at Chelsea, but he wasn't as bad as he is now. It's just, I don't know what's happened.
1 minute to go. 1 minute.
1 minute to go. Well, it's been lovely catching up with you guys.
It's been good talking about our teams. We haven't done it much. We've tried to stay away from it. Been good.
Yeah, it's been good to talk about our potentials, and I've enjoyed it. I have to wait and see what the weekend brings.
Just good to talk football. Watch United Luton now. I can't wait.
You never know. It's an interesting season. So volatile.
Yeah. We've got West Ham will be good, and I think they're going to be up for it. So I'm not sure. I hope we're up for it because we should go for the FA Cup this year. I think. Anyway, good talking. Good
talking, guys.
Love football. Thanks for listening, watching.